Hi, my name is Marion. I just wanted to make a quick video. Myself and my husband have been protesting outside CBC Vets in Doradine, Limerick. Must be nearly coming on 6 weeks now. And we're protesting because our beautiful German Shepherd Lexi was euthanised by heart-stick intracardiac euthanasia while she was fully conscious. We're devastated. All our family is devastated. It's had a profound effect on our lives. It's just hard to put into words when you witness that, such horrific cruelty being done to your own pet. You can't put it into words. We just want to thank everyone that supported us as well. We've met beautiful people on the streets of Limerick. We've got a lot of good support, good feedback from people. We'd one beautiful lady, she came up to us on a Saturday. It was freezing cold and she gave us coffee. Don't know her name, I want to give a big shout out to her. It was a really nice gesture, nice act of humanity, and we're very grateful. We met another nice guy who gave us prayer books. I think his name was James. It was James, and we just want to say thank you, and thank you to everyone that has been supporting us, who blow the horn as we're outside protests and who come up, who share their stories. We really do appreciate it. Why am I making this video? First of all, I just want to talk about heart-stick intracardiac euthanasia. A lot of people don't know what heart-stick intracardiac euthanasia is. I didn't know what it was either until I witnessed the brutality and the horrificness of it. Heart-stick intracardiac euthanasia is a large, long needle of sodium pentobarbital that is injected into an animal's heart. It has to go through several layers of muscle. It has to go through the chest cavity to get into the heart. Now, it is very, very difficult to do on a conscious animal because their heart would be moving and their lungs would be moving, so a lot of the times it doesn't reach the heart, they hit the lungs. It's not successful. The animal is left in excruciating pain, absolutely horrific torture. It's just absolutely horrific. And that's what happened to Lexi. We brought Lexi in on April the 18th to CBC Vets. We hadn't planned to euthanise Lexi. She had been going in and out to the vets for 3 weeks previously. And on the night she was very weak and her breathing was very bad, and they advised that we euthanise her. So we trusted the vet. You don't think that the vet is going to do anything to your animal that would hurt it. That's the last person on the planet you think that would hurt an animal. So we thought Lexi would be euthanised, say, the regular method of IV through the vein. But on the night in question, the vet wasn't able to get a vein, and then the vet said that they would have to go through the heart. Now, we didn't know what that meant, and we were just told it would be quicker. And again, on the night in question, I was present, my husband was present, we had 4 teenage kids present, everybody was distressed, everybody was crying. We trusted the vet, we just thought, it's going to be quicker. And we didn't enter suffering. But what proceeded afterwards was absolutely horrific. It's the stuff of nightmares, and it's haunting me, and I can't get it out of my head. Every time I close my eyes, it's there. When I go to sleep, it's there. I just can't get that image out of my head, because when the vet proceeded, our beautiful German Shepherd Lexi, she rose up off the table. She was in excruciating pain, and it was horrific to watch. It made me feel physically sick. My hands were shaking, and she was yelping. She was trying to get off the table. She was severely distressed, and she didn't pass. So it by no means was it quicker, and it was horrific. And the vet had to go in again, and the same thing happened. Lexi rose up off the table in excruciating pain, severely distressed. It was just horrible. I just can't even put this into words because it was so horrific. And at that point I jumped back and I screamed at the vet, "This is inhumane." And the vet proceeded then to get a vein. And when she got the vein, Lexi passed. Now, this just went on, and it was just horrific. It's actually hard for me to talk about it, and it's hard to explain it, and it's hard to put it into words as well, because it was like your animal was being murdered in front of you. It was like torture. It wasn't like euthanasia. I had a dog put down before, a German Shepherd, when had to be put down when she was 14. And it was quick, and it was fast, and it wasn't painful. It was peaceful. She looked peaceful even when we brought her home. But this was nowhere near peaceful. And when we brought Lexi home, she didn't look peaceful. Even her face, it was all scrunched up, and you could just see the pain in her face. You could see that this dog suffered a horrific death. Like, but just to see it, the visual of it, it was horrible. It was really horrible. And I just want to read out, I have something here actually. Let's get it. Or maybe I can't get it. Let me see. First of all, I just want to say under the AVM guidelines that intracardiac injection is acceptable only when performed on heavily sedated, anaesthetised or comatose animals. It is not considered acceptable in awake animals owing to the difficulty and unpredictability of performing the injection accurately. So under the AVM guidelines, the animal must be at a surgical level of anaesthesia. Now we know that in a lot of states in America it is illegal to do this euthanasia on conscious animals, and a vet can end up in jail for doing it. We also know there was a case also in Scotland, and I want to give a shout out to Darren Stevenson, to his German Shepherd, and I want to get the name of Darren's dog right, Bouncer, sorry. The very same thing happened, was euthanised the very same way as Lexi, and that vet got struck off. But here in Ireland, this can be done, and it's just swept under the carpet, brushed under the carpet, nothing happens. Now we did write a complaint to the VCI about the vet in question, and it went to PIC. The vet walked free basically. Now a lot of people did say to me, Marion, you're wasting your time going to the VCI, and you know what, they were right, I was wasting my time, but I just wanted to go through the right channels first. What can I say about the VCI? I found them very rude, very unhelpful. They're supposed to represent the people, they don't represent the people. It really represents the vets, you know, and even if you look onto their site, when this happens, there's counselling there for the vets in question, but the ordinary Joe, there's no counselling for you. So if you go through an adverse experience with a vet, there's nothing there for you. And when we are protesting on the streets in Limerick, outside CVC vets, this is what we're hearing from people day in, day out. We're hearing all sorts of stories from people. It's all the same thing. They're not getting any support. If they have an adverse reaction in the vets, there is no support for them. You know, they're just left on their own, they're left isolated. You know, they can make a complaint to the VCI, but the prosecution rate by the Veterinary Council of Ireland is exceptionally and extremely low. And it's very light as well. It's just a little slap in the hand and basically, you know, on you go. That's basically it. Now, I did make a request as well to speak in person to the Veterinary Council of Ireland, but nothing there either. They don't want to speak to me. So, having gone down through all those routes, I have no option now but just to come public and tell our story to the people. What else have I to say on it? I just want to talk about as well, it was going on in Clare as well in the pounds, and I want to give a shout out to Deirdre Ryan, who exposed it in the Clare pounds. Now that happened in 2014, and it was brought to the Dáil, and it was brought by a TD, Maureen O'Sullivan, and Simon Coveney did say that it had been stopped and it wasn't happening, but here we are now, 2023, it's still happening. And when we were protesting as well outside, we had three people from Limerick who told us it happened to their dogs. One as recent as 2 years ago. Also, we have a lady in Kerry, and it happened to her dog as well. So, you know, it's still happening. It's still happening out there. I would believe it's still happening in the pounds. They're probably not admitting it's happening. It's happening in our veterinary clinics. And it needs to stop. I mean, Ireland, you're in the dark ages, you know, the real dark ages, because it's horrific, barbaric, torturous method of euthanasia. It is extremely painful, and I can say it because I've seen it, I've witnessed it, I was there. It made me physically sick, physically weak, and I felt like passing out. One of my daughters had to sit down on the floor in the hall because she felt like she was going to pass out. This is horrible. It's horrible. I don't know how any vet would do this to any animal. It's just horrific. And what I can't understand is on the night of April the 18th, when the first attempt went in to euthanize Lexi, and she rose up off that table in excruciating pain, yelping in pain, severely distressed, why did the vet not stop then? Why did the vet not administer some form of anaesthesia at that point? But no, the vet went in again. And the same thing happened, and I had to jump back and scream, this is inhumane. You know, there is no excuse for it, lads. This is Ireland. This is the year 2023. We should not be doing this to our animals. It's not right. And I'm not going to be silenced, and we're not going to stop, and we're going to keep fighting until this is stopped. We want to end intracardiac euthanasia on conscious animals in Ireland. It has to stop. Now, we have a petition running as well. You can find it on Care2 Petitions. It is End Intracardiac Euthanasia on Conscious Animals, and it's addressed to the CEO of the VCI, Niamh Muldoon. I'm just trying to think now if I have anything else to say. Just to thank people, the support. It's brilliant. We really do appreciate it. It has been very hard. It's not easy coming out either, sharing this. But as I said, I feel like I have no choice because nobody's listening. All these government bodies, as I said, the VCI, they're doing nothing. Vets are getting away with it here. I mean, even what happened in the Clare Pounds, there was no prosecutions, like all the deaths of thousands of animals, dogs, in this manner. There was never any prosecutions. There's never been a prosecution in Ireland for heart-stick euthanasia, whereas there has been in America and other countries. So I think we're lagging behind. I think we need change. I'm looking for justice for Lexi. How am I going to get it? It's a bit doubtful in this country, but as I said, we're not going to be silenced. We're going to keep fighting. We have to raise public awareness and educate people on heart-stick euthanasia in Ireland. If we don't, it's going to keep happening. It's going to keep continuing. It has to stop. The animals deserve better. Euthanasia in Greek means good death. And when an animal comes to the end of their life, that's all you want for them. You just want them to have a peaceful, pain-free death and passing. A humane passing. That's all you're asking. And I think every animal deserves that. They don't deserve to have a more horrific experience, more pain added on before they pass. It's just not right. That's it for now. Thanks again for all the support. You're great. Thank you. Bye.